So we finally made inside Busch Gardens.
Finally made it into Busch Gardens after a massive queue today, and we're going to go straight to the new coaster. New credit for both of us.
This is the coaster we wish we were gonna ride now. Uruguay is on 80 minutes. That's really sad. Today the park is very busy. We had this massive queue to get in. More than half an hour by the time we arrived until we made it inside the park. We are staying in Orlando, so we decided to take the free shuttle from Orlando to Busch Gardens. The shuttle is offered by Busch Gardens. It's free. The only thing you need is to book online and have a ticket for the day. There's several points in Orlando that you can get this shuttle from. We got from Old Town because we're staying in a hotel in the area. It's pretty easy, but the problem is the bus doesn't make it to park opening time, and it doesn't leave by the time the park closed. The bus takes about 2 hours. We arrived here about 11. The park opened at 10, so we lost over an hour in the morning. The park today is open until 10 p.m., but we're leaving at 7. If we're leaving at 7, we need to be cautious on the queues that we join in the end of the day as well, so we don't miss the bus. Because if we miss the bus, there's not many options to go back to Orlando. Last time we took a Flixbus and we could get an Uber, but it's about $100. And we don't want that. Right now is just over midday, less than 7 hours in the park now. So let's see how many rides we can do in this time without fast passes.
Sheikra is only on 5 minutes, so it's a distraction, isn't it? We can't walk past a 5-minute Sheikra, can we? We will make it to Phoenix Rising later.
Right, we got distracted again. We just went on Tigers because it was only 5 minutes as well. And it's right next to sheikra. Sheikra is one of the best coasters in this park. It's a B&M dive coaster. To me, it's one of the best dive coasters.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best dive coasters. I think it's got a little bit of B&M grit for being a bit older now. You can really feel it's more forceful than it used to be when it first opened. I think it's really good to have it more forceful because it gives it that powerful impact that a dive coaster deserves.
I think the dive coasters, they need to have the elements that makes them more impressive. So on the dive, you need to have tunnel or something that will make the dive better. And I think sheikra is perfect. Even on the smaller drop on the mid-course break, you dive into the building and then you have the water splash. So the whole coaster looks beautiful as well. From the inside, from when you're riding, and from the outside as well when you're watching.
It is one of the most stunning looking coasters there are. When I first rode sheikra, I was a little bit disappointed. This was in the opening year of the ride. I was disappointed because it didn't have as good a first drop as Oblivion, which is our local one at Alton Towers. One of the dive coasters missed the first drop, and Oblivion had that perfect first drop. But now I think the first drop on sheikra is running really good, so I am really enjoying both sheikra and Oblivion. All of them, they're all pretty good now.
The rest of the ride on sheikra is really good as well.
Tigris.
I think Tigris is okay for this park. It's cool how they have it here. I think it's another type of ride that is different from all the other coasters that they have on the park. But when we compare to other coasters of the same model, I just hate it. Tigris is a Skyrocket 2 from Premier Rides that they have loads of this model, but the one here has the comfort colors, which kills the ride, and it has the extra car as well. So weird to see that train so big. So our favorite is the one in Holiday Park in Germany. That one is amazing. When it's good, that ride is incredible. But because we compare with it, Tigris is just not as great.
Luckily only 5 minutes. sheikra was advertised at 5 minutes, we queued about 15. Tigris was advertised at 5 minutes, we queued about 10. So overall, not too bad. Now we're going to do Phoenix Rising. We can see it.
Yeah, we're arriving in the area, which is Pantopia. This area is one of my favorites of this park. I think it just looks incredible. Pantopia is where you have the drop tower for Falcon's Fury, and from the top of the drop tower, when you see this area from the top, it's really good. I love the vibrant colors, like this theater here that they have. It just looks so good.
So this area is having a lot of changes. So there are two coasters that they used to have, Sand Serpent and Scorpion, both removed. Really sad about Scorpion going. That was an absolute shame. We did manage to get on it last year though, so at least we've had a final ride. And Sand Serpent was replaced with Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising is a B&M inverted family coaster, and it looks quite good in the area. It also has like vibrant colors. The entrance looks really cool with the coaster passing over the entrance. It's on 1 hour. Let's get distracted again. Not riding kumba right now.
Back to Pantopia.
No!
Stop tearing down our coasters.
So at the moment, Scorpius is still here. You can still see it, but it's just not open anymore with the shade. That coaster was quite good.
It was such a classic of Busch Gardens. It really was.
The heelys were so forceful. Now we're gonna do Falcon's Fury, which is the drop tower. The queue is really short. The queue for that drop tower is always really short. And by the time we leave, then we're gonna face the queue for Phoenix Rising. I love Falcon's Fury. I think it's probably my favorite flat ride
Ever?
I think it is. I don't know. It's my favorite drop tower for sure. When you're going up and then when you start tilting forward, it's so scary. Oh, I had it! I had it! I had it! I had it! I had this part! I had this part! I had this part! It feels like it's forever. Oh, come on! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! It holds you facing down on the top and it's so high. It's so scary because it feels like the restraints are just gonna open it or you're gonna fail. Just drop it! Once it starts dropping, it's the best feeling ever. It's so good. I think the drop on this is amazing. Drop is so good.
I do really like it. I just think I prefer the stand-up drop towers, like the one at Movie Park. I just find that's more scarier for me. I just feel not quite as safe there as compared to this, but that moment it tilts is ridiculously good.
Here on this area, they have this indoor food court. They have all types of food. We're just gonna go in there to get cold water. The park has water refillers throughout the parks, usually next to a toilet, but the water are not that cold. So we're just gonna get here because we can get ice and water.
Very good selection of food here. They've got something for everyone, whether it's burgers, pizza, Asian, Mexican. It's a really good option, and everyone can just go in and get whatever they want.
And it's an indoor area as well, so whenever it's hot, you can just sit inside. They also have a stage there, so they have shows. Here in the front, you can see the times of the shows of the day. Now we're gonna face the queue for Phoenix Rising.
It was surprisingly good, I think.
Yeah, for a family coaster, it's good.
It's very nippy. It's got quite a good first drop, but it goes so fast along the ground, and I thought it did throw you around the corners quite well.
I like that it has lap bar restraints on an inverted coaster because it makes you feel so open, especially on the front row. You can queue for whatever row you want, just like every other coaster here in Busch Gardens. So we just queued for the front, and it was a really cool experience. They have onboard audio as well.
The station looks really cool. There's 4 different phoenixes that will fly over on these big projector screens in the back, and it all looked really cool the way every time a different bird flew by, every time a train came, so it kept the station feeling fresh while you were in there. You didn't know what bird was going to come next. If you ride this ride a lot, you probably know what bird's coming next.
Yeah, but it's good entertainment for the queue.
When Busch Gardens announced they were getting a second B&M inverted coaster, a lot of people gave the park a lot of negativity for this, saying why would you have 2 inverted coasters from the same manufacturer? However, Move Park Germany did it first. They had a Vekoma SLC, then they got Jimmy Neutron, which is a family model. And I felt that that works really well for that park, and I think this works really well for this park as well. So having experienced Move Park Germany, now coming here, I think this is a really good fit for the park, and it's a good step-up coaster as you make your way up to Montu or sheikra.
Now we're making the decision of where we're going next.
Serengeti Flyer is now on 70, Cheetah Hunt is on 90, Iron Gwazi is on 30. So we're going to head back down to Iron Gwazi now. Gwazi. Is it the best coaster in the world? No, but it is bloody good. It's a top 10 coaster for me. Absolutely love it. It's not steel engines beating. It's not even close. It just doesn't have that impact that steel engine has for me, and that's what I think I'm missing with this ride. But I do absolutely love it. The pacing on Iron Gwazi is incredible. I think the wave turn is incredible. But I do think the death roll is a little bit overrated. Everyone regards that as one of the best inversions in the world, and compared a lot to the Monosaurus roll on Velocicoaster. It's a decent barrel roll downhill. Overall, it is an incredible coaster. Yeah, I do love it. Although it's stupid calling it a conversion, because it's not really a conversion. They barely followed the track of any of the Gwazis. They just used the land. So it's not really a conversion, let's face it, it's pretty much brand new. And that's not a bad thing, that's a very good thing.
So we just came to this area of the park now that is like Egypt. We did Montu, the other inverted coaster, like the big one. It's really, really good. It's so intense.
And it's such good pacing, especially in the first half. It just keeps going. The Batwing towards the end of the first half is so good. One of the best elements on the ride.
This coaster tends to not have big queues like the others. So every time we come here, it tends to be the shortest queues, like less than 20 minutes. The station is really messy, but there wasn't any queues until the station, and it's just so intense. One of the best B&M inverted coasters. Here in the area there's also Cobra's First. This whole area of the park is also amazing, so well themed. The buildings that they have here.
It's almost the second best Egypt-themed B&M in the world. I'd put that towards Osiris and Park Ashik.
I wouldn't say that it's by far.
I would. Osiris Park Ashik, I think looks absolutely stunning, that area. think Cyrus is a better coaster. I love Monty. Monty might be closely behind, but I think Cyrus Park Asterix, that's his thing, is phenomenal.
No, it is. It is. I agree that it is. But I feel like they're really, really close, both on the theming and on how the ride goes. To be honest, I feel like the best coaster in this area, talking about how it looks, is Cobra's Curse. I love the massive statue of the cobra, and I think the coaster just looks incredible. So when you put that together with Monto, the whole area becomes really cool, not just Monto itself. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have time to ride anything else. We need to get back to the entrance of the park to get our bus back. We only did like 6 rides today.
Which is pretty shit.
It's really, really bad. But that's the problem, because the park is really busy and we didn't have much hours in the park. Right now, it's almost an hour for our bus to come pick us up, but basically all the queues that we have now are over an hour, so we don't have time to do anything else. Then we need to wait an hour for our bus. So really, this bus from Orlando to Tampa is not a great option. For us, it was fine because we've been to the park before, but if this is your first visit, we don't recommend doing that. Last year, we stayed on a hotel that is right next to Busch Gardens in Tampa. We stayed here for a night. We came to Busch Gardens, we enjoyed the park, we slept on this hotel. They had free shuttles to Busch Gardens during the whole day, so even if you didn't want to get the transfer, you could walk. It was like 10 minutes walk. You could get an Uber, it was going to be really cheap. And then we got a Flix bus from Tampa to Orlando, and it was about $20. So it worked out really well. We could stay in the park until the park closed, we could arrive by the gates open. We enjoyed the whole day. So tomorrow we're gonna be back here again on the same system with the same bus, but hopefully with the hours that we have tomorrow in the park, we'll be able to do everything else that we have skipped today. We're here waiting for the bus, and it's quite easy. This is the exit of the park, and right in front of the exit that all the bus stops here, everyone that is here is just waiting for a bus. So when we were in the hotel in the area, that's the drop-off as well and the pickup. So we're back. Yesterday we did 6 rides in total. Let's see how many we can get today. The plan is to try to beat yesterday and do at least 7. Every ride that we skipped yesterday, and at least one we ride in Arungazi. So we're gonna start the day with Cheetah Hunt.
Cheetah Hunt is on 90, so we quickly took a look at Cobra's Curse. That is on 80.
The reason that we're walking from one to another to check the queues is because the queue times on the entrance, yesterday at least, they were pretty accurate, but the times on the app were not. So we're not trusting the app, we're looking on the entrances.
On the app, it said that Cheetah Hunt is yet to open and Cobra's Curse is on 20.
Busch Gardens has all these places that you can see animals as well. Yesterday we were rushing to do the ride, so we didn't have much time to do that, but we decided to walk to Serengeti Flyer, which is the swings. We passed through this path now that you can see the hippos, and you can see underwater as well, so you can see fish, and then the hippos, and then Arungazi and Cheetah Hunt in the background, which is pretty cool. It's quite cool because then you can see the hippos going underwater, and then you see them half that is underwater, the half that is up the water. It's a really cool path that they have. And you're just walking by the park and then you're seeing these things. All the park you can see different animals. And sometimes they have people as well around Cheetah Hunt now. They had someone talking about the cheetahs and explaining to everyone curiosities about them. 15 minutes! Yeah, we'll take that. swings are so good. We love them. Every park we go, we always do them. And I love when they have like these massive ones with so many seats, and when they operate the two arms at the same time. So a lot of times if the park is not as busy, they will operate only one arm. But I like when they operate both, because then you cross with the other arm in the middle of the ride. So you see everyone going on the other direction, and when you're looking from the outside as well, it looks so cool.
Serengeti Flight is currently the world's tallest one of these. About to lose its crown, but at the meantime, this is currently the world's tallest screaming swing.
The new tallest one is gonna go to Hershey Park. They just announced the new gondolas now in Ayapa, and I can't wait for that as well. But this one is pretty big, and when you're up there and you see everything down, and then when you look back as well, you see everything upside down, is so cool. Cobra's Curse is in 100 minutes. What? Cheetah is on 90. It's gonna be 90 the rest of the day. This queue is always big, but Cobra's Curse on 100. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving 100 for Cobras. We just wanted to quickly check just to see if it was better, but it's definitely not. And it's not worth it. 100 minutes for Cobra's Curse is not worth it. Cheetah is a very good coaster, and I'm really excited to ride it. I'm sad I didn't ride it yesterday, so I'm happy queuing 90 minutes for it.
Happy queuing 90 minutes.
90
90 minutes.
The thing is, park is busy. Other rides of the park probably didn't have that much queues, but we're gonna prioritize doing everything that we didn't. By the time we leave Cheetah Hunt, we can do the sky ride as well.
Two hours and 35 minutes later. That was not a 90-minute advertised queue.
No, but it was worth it. Was it? Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed Cheetah Hunt, but I would have liked it if it was like 90 minutes, not 150.
I think it's a great coaster. To me, it's more than a family coaster. It has some amazing elements. It's not like this crazy coaster. You're not gonna have anything very intense, but it does what it's supposed to be really well. You have 3 launches. One of them gets you up that tower, and then you just go around, and then you have a drop. The drop is really good. The whole tower looks incredible. When you see from other parts of the park the train going around, and the train's like a cheetah. So when you see it going up and just hovering on the top and then dropping, managed to transmit really well the image of a cheetah running around and hunting. When you see that part when it just goes to the side, you can imagine the cheetah hunting.
I like the way the barrel roll on the ride simulates a cheetah catching its prey, spinning it. I think that's really well done. The Serengeti overlook looks amazing. This restaurant opposite Cheetah Hunt overlooks all these animals. You can get a beer, you can relax, they've got food options in there. It's really worth checking out just for the views and the chilling environment.
They do have a new restaurant on the top that you have all the views from the top as well, but it only opens Friday to Sunday. We're here on a Monday and Tuesday, so we cannot go there, but we're just gonna go to the main area to have the views from there. Yesterday we showed the restaurant in Pantopia. This is the same thing. They have all these options of food there as well. We can refill the drinks, but with a nice view. I do really like all these buildings here in Busch Gardens. They themed this park really, really well. So they have this really cool area with a bar as well. Last time we got a beer here, just looking at the giraffes. Today we don't have time for that because we're in a rush. So we're gonna go to the next ride. But it's a really cool place to get a beer. Now we're gonna do the sky ride that takes us from this area of the park that is right next to Cheetah Hunt until next to Kumba. The sky ride is an upcharge, but because we have the annual pass, we can ride it for free. So it's an extra benefits that they give for the pass holders.
There's not too many benefits you get when you visit another park. Our pass is for SeaWorld San Diego. If we were to visit there, we get a lot more benefits than if we were to visit here. This is a dangerous game because there's no queue times outside, so I don't know how long it's going to be.
Yeah, we have no idea how the queue looks inside. They don't put any information about this being an upcharge. We saw so many people on the queue just leaving because they realized they had to pay for it by the time they were entering the sky ride. You have amazing views of the park, and here goes Cheetah Hunt. I forgot to mention, Cheetah Hunt is so long, and it's so cool how it goes all the way back here to the park. All these views that we're having here, we can see from the coaster. Ride. You need to pay $5 if you don't have an annual pass. This is just one way. You need to get off on the next station. We got the sky ride here by Cheetah Hunt. It takes you all the way up and then here next to the log flume. If you want to get the sky ride back, then you need to pay another $5.
It's not really worth it. And I think it's a little bit wrong charging for a transportation ride in the park. I'm just happy that I didn't have to pay as it came with the season pass.
If you don't pay for it, it's really cool, the views that you have, but it's definitely not worth $5. If you want another transportation ride that will give you some views of the park as well, you can take a train that they have here that goes around the park, but the train is closed during our visit. So is Kumba and the Rapids. I'm so upset for that. I really wanted to ride Kumba and the Rapids.
I was so happy to get back on Kumba last year. I absolutely love that coaster. I love it. Oh, I love this so much. It's one of the most iconic roller coasters of Busch Gardens, with the corkscrews that you used to always see on every Florida advert, and I absolutely love Kumba. It's an icon for this park.
The ride is good. The
ride is very good.
It is really good. It is a bit rough, but it's not a problem. I think it's still really worth riding. I was so excited to get back on it, so it's so shame that it's not open. So we're gonna have to skip these 3 rides this time. And next to the sky ride, they have this log flume. We're not gonna do the log flume today, and I don't think we ever done this log flume. It's just because, especially today, that the park is so busy. We're not gonna waste almost an hour queuing for the log flume. That could be more than an hour by what we saw on the other queues. When we could be doing Aranguaz, we're gonna go back to Aranguaz, we're gonna get another ride. If you have done the log flume on Busch Gardens, let us know if it's worth or not, and then we may do it on the next time.
We're back by sheikra area now, and the splash zone at sheikra. It looks amazing, it is amazing. I've got so wet on this in the past, just trying to take footage of the ride. Because it just gets you so soaked, the water gets everywhere.
You can see here on the floor, all this part all the way there is completely wet because this is how much the water just spreads out everywhere.
On the way from sheikra to Sesame Street, there is an aviary, so you can go see a load of birds. Two birds were being too sweet, so I had to film them.
The only thing that you need to be careful if you want to do all the animal stuff, a lot of them closes early. So for example, the aviary closed at 5 and the park closed at 10 p.m. So if you want to do the animal stuff, you can just go on the app and see the times for everything, so you can plan your day. On the app, they also have the times of all the shows. We're not doing the shows. They have some animal shows, and now that is around the Christmas time, they have Christmas on Ice as well, like a skating show. But we're just gonna skip them to focus on the rides. But if you want to do them, you can always check the app, and they will have all the times of everything that you have on the day. So now we're in the Sesame Street area, which is the kiddie area of the park. If you count credits, they have a kiddie coaster here. We have this credit already. But this is quite a cool kid area.
It's a really good area for the kids. They've got shows, they've got like little flat rides, they've got a play area, a roller coaster. They've got everything that a kids area needs, all nice and well presented here together.
And the playground that they have is amazing. It's massive. Look at the size of that. So we have this tree house that leads to all this path. This is so cool. Any kid will be so happy in this area here.
So they have a Christmas area at the moment.
At night it looks really cool with the lights on. They have all these stands basically selling food in this path that is usually not open.
Which is amazing for us because it's got some amazing views of Iron Gwazi.
That we usually don't have. We just did a rewrite on Iron Gwazi. This coaster is really, really, really good.
It was running so much better just now than it did yesterday. So much better.
To me, it's a top 3 RMC. It's right there with Zadra and Steel Vengeance. It is running so well today. It's so annoying that we cannot do it again. We were planning to try to get 2 rides on it before our bus, but our bus is in an hour and the queue is over an hour now, so we're not gonna have time to do it again. We're gonna do Montu, because Montu is only on 20 minutes, so we're gonna go for the safe option and sacrifice the night ride on Iron Gwazi. But we have done a night ride on this before and it's incredible. Although I prefer when it's not with the Christmas lighting because it doesn't really fit the ride.
Yeah, green and red is not a good colour. Why didn't they do green and purple?
Yeah, like here. So they have all this decoration on this area that is all green and purple. It looks so cool. And it's the color scheme of the ride. If they made the whole ride lit up as purple and green, it would look fantastic. But hi!
Hey guys!
Here's the guide for Busch Gardens that will know all about this park.
If you want a VIP tour, that's who you need to see.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, change of plans, we're not doing Monto. They decided not to let us in with the backpack. So the situation with bags here in this park is the same as SeaWorld. It's very confusing. They don't have a clear rule. You're supposed to have lockers for all the rides or most of the rides. But sometimes they let you in with a backpack, sometimes they don't. Yesterday we paid $12 for the whole day locker and they allowed us with the backpack on the queues for everything. So we just wasted the money. So today we decided not to rent the locker and we were going with the backpack on every single ride that we went. Now we went to Monto and he's like, no, you cannot go with the backpack, even though yesterday we went on Monto with the backpack.
He said it's because it was too busy in the park. Yeah, yesterday was busier and every other ride today we've gone on with a bag.
Yeah, so the queue there is 10 minutes, everything else is 2 hours, an hour, we're fine with backpacks. So it's very inconsistent. We're not going to pay to get a locker now. This was going to be the last ride of the day. We could get a locker just for Monto, but we just don't want to do that now.
I do think the biggest issue that Busch Gardens has is staffing, and I'm not blaming the staff for that. I'm blaming the Busch Gardens policy. I think Busch Gardens has a terrible staffing policy. They need to have better training with their staff, and they need to have more consistency throughout the park. It's a shame because it's a really nice park and it's really beautiful, but there's lots of issues that this park has, and it all comes down to staffing. Just now on Iron Gwazi, there was a single rider in the queue and then he just put another single rider in the back row queue. We asked if we could queue for the back row and he said no, because there's already 2 trains in front of us. We said, but they're both single riders. He said, but single riders can't go on the same train with each other, so they have to put them on separate trains, and so there'll be 1 empty seat on each train. That's very weird.
Same thing happened yesterday. We were on the front row. We had to wait 2 trains for two single riders going on their own. Not only they don't have single rider queue for anything, they purposely put single riders separately, which is so weird.
I do think this park has a staffing problem and they do need to sort that out. If they can sort that out, it will run a lot better and it'll be a lot smoother, and I think people will be more enjoyable. There was a lot of people who turned around then and they all said that that policy was absolutely stupid. You're putting people in a very sour mood, leaving the rides, and that's not a good thing. It's such a lovely park.
Cobra's Curse was the only ride that was open that we decided to skip because we decided to prioritize every ride on Arunguazi, which was worth it. Cobra's Curse is good. It has this awesome cobra statue. It starts with a lift hill and you go straight into the cobra's mouth. It looks so impressive off the ride and on the ride. It's a very cool element to have there. But it's just an okay ride.
It's not worth queuing for when it was 1 hour and 10, but it is a fun ride if it's got shorter queues. The first half goes forward, the second half goes backwards, and then all of a sudden it starts spinning. So it's quite cool to have the 3 different elements as you go around the ride.
Right, we were about to leave the park, but then we remembered there was another ride that does not have long queues, the Drop Tower Falcon's Fury. We never done a night ride on that.
The problem is they shut off the park by cheap hunt all around the back way early, so we have to go around the long, long way.
So we're gonna run. What an awesome way to finish the day. This area looks really cool at night. Phoenix Rising has this light package on the train that is so cool.
So the lights on every train is different to represent a different Phoenix. So you have green or red or blue, creating a unique look every time the train goes by. It's pretty cool.
Because the whole story of the ride is supposed to have 4 different Phoenix. So you have the one for water, for ice, fire and earth. So cool the way they represent that with the lights. We finished the day with 5 rides. Yesterday with 6. Today we did stop a little bit for making some videos. We could probably get another ride with that time, but it's still not enough for a day in Busch Gardens.
Sometimes you just want to enjoy the atmosphere and walk around and see things, and unfortunately with how short a time we have from getting the bus from Orlando, we just don't have time to do it.
We would not recommend doing that and getting that bus, especially if it's your first time and if you want to do everything. If you want to stay the whole day in the park, don't get this bus. You could drive here if you're renting a car, you could Uber, you could stay in Tampa in a hotel here like we did the other time. That was probably the best way for us. I would only recommend getting the bus if you really want to save money. If you've been to the park before, if you don't mind staying only half a day, or even if it's your first time but you don't mind staying the whole day, then it could be okay. The park was really busy. If it was a little bit quieter, you would be able to do more rides on a day. But if you're getting the bus, I would recommend visiting for 2 days like we did, so you have time to do everything. I really love Busch Gardens. I think this is one of the most iconic parks for me. It's really worth visiting Busch Gardens.
Absolutely love Busch Gardens. I love it every time I come here. I think it looks amazing. I think it's got one of the best ride lineups in the world.
And this is the last part of our Florida trip, so make sure to subscribe to see where we're going next.